No, I didn't. But
Come on.
I know. You can start. What was your question? I'm sorry.
My question of the day is, let's start drinking and we'll worry about tomorrow.
That sounded more like a statement, Craig.
That did sound like more like a statement. But
Nah, Nick's a good son-in-law.
well, yeah. Now that I start recording, he starts saying nice things about me. I don't know what happened there.
Now I don't have no complaints.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Just give him an hour.
Wait till the liquor runs out. Then I'll tell you.
Candy's dandy, but liquor's quicker.
And sex don't rot.
What movie did that come from, John?
I'm sorry.
What movie did that come from, John?
I don't know. I just had the follow-up statement to it.
Which I've completely missed because I talked over you, as
That's
usual.
right. Try it again, though.
Candy's dandy, but liquor's quicker.
And sex don't rot your teeth.
That's pretty good.
All right.
That's pretty good. Yeah.
That's about like being a bush pilot.
Oh, God. Here we go with the bush pilot again.
Bush pilot.
We were talking about bush pilots, and Craig kept saying, yeah, I was a bush pilot once.
Till the plane got old. Until I got the evil eye across the table. I was considering her the plane.
So I tried to explain. Craig has not listened. Craig is my father-in-law, everyone. This is our special guest for today on our 49th episode of PoddiMouths. I tried to explain to him what PoddiMouths was all about because he's hearing potty mouths, but it's PoddiMouths, and so I think he's still a little confused about whether or not we say, raunchy things. And I told him it doesn't really matter what we say because no one's listening.
We are.
We're listening.
Yes.
We're listening very closely.
Well, and our friend Bill.
And
You
our
know
friend
he's
Bill.
listening.
Yeah. Well, yeah, he probably tripped over a few curbs after the bush pilot statement.
He may have.
I was talking about an airplane.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, John, welcome, Mr. Cregg Church, my father-in-law.
Hi, Craig.
He's here.
Hey, John.
We're sitting here, and as we have let all of our guests know, we're recording probably 2 or 3 weeks ahead of time, but it is actually just before Thanksgiving here while we're recording, and I'm at my in-laws and getting ready to enjoy a fantastic Thanksgiving meal. And John is sitting at his house freezing his butt off in the snow.
It's really not. There is no snow on the ground, believe it or not, but it is right now. The wind gusts are around 50 miles an hour.
Oh, because the snow's coming, right?
Probably.
Yeah.
It's
Dad told
always
me.
coming.
Well, yeah, winter is coming. No one's going with the. No,
it was
one got
too
that?
easy.
John, you didn't even get that?
Look, Craig and I are professionals. We're going to wait for something that is much more provoking rather than, the softballs you lob at us.
When you get my age, you got to slow down, take life as it comes. When does it start?
I keep getting smacked upside the head by life, Craig.
I have all my life 5 times, especially.
5 times, but only one of them was twice.
Yeah, one of them was twice, and it's bad enough when you marry somebody twice, then their boyfriend calls me, asks me how to start the weed eater.
Yeah.
Oh,
This is going to be a fun episode.
It already is.
It is a fun episode. That's right. So anyway, but we're talking about Thanksgiving. It's also here in Tennessee, in East Tennessee, or is it Virginia? It's still hunting season, right?
It's Virginia's hunting season.
Virginia's
It's
still
both places.
It's both places. Okay. So, and Craig is a big, big hunter. And we were actually, just before we hopped on here, we were talking about his squirrel hunting. He's already laughing. The nice thing, Craig, is we can, sorry, buddy. The nice thing is we can edit all of this out. So if you don't like something, you just say, no, cut that. And I won't, but I'll pretend that I will. Oh, shoot. Yeah, that's true. I do cut out a lot of John's stuff, because this show is all about me.
What's about the squirrel, though?
Oh, so tell him.
Huh?
Yeah, who's that guy?
Well,
tell him about your squirrel story, the one you just got done telling me.
Well, excuse me. I deer hunt a lot over in Virginia, and I got this little squirrel that comes down the tree beside me one day, and I was sitting up against the tree. It scared me. So I jumped up, I looked at him, he's sitting there looking at me, and I don't know whether he was shocked or I was shocked, but anyway, I sat back down, he comes back down, he decides he's going to take a nap right beside my foot. So that was very unusual for me. So it was a really good day.
And I will post that on our Instagram because he has a picture of it.
Yeah, I got
and
pictures
the
of it.
squirrel actually was sleeping next to his foot.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah, and it scared me to death. I thought it was going to get in my backpack, but
Now, Cregg has a very good sense of humor, and once in a while I'll get random texts similar to the one he just sent me a few days ago. He's sitting in his deer stand with his eyes closed. He looks like he's sleeping. He really does, and he sends it. And the text below it says, "The bear took a picture while I was sleeping." The bear does a lot of things to Cregg while he's in his deer
yeah,
stand.
you need to see these pictures. They look real.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
The next one I get, I was going to do it this past week when I killed that buck. I was going to put him beside me and put my hat on him, put his arm around me, and I was going to put a bottle of vodka in his arm and say, "We decided to quit hunting and started drinking." But I'm going to do that, yeah.
You should. Yeah, that would be hilarious. Because we'll post all that.
Craig, I got to ask you something. Don't you get tired of Nick's accent? Because it drives me crazy.
Nah, I'm used to it.
It took a while to get used to it, though, right?
Yeah, it took. Yeah, he probably makes fun of mine because sometimes my words don't go as far as my brain. That's a short trip here and there. But anyway, it don't matter because what I say doesn't make a lot of sense anyway.
Me either.
If you didn't understand that, then you know
he
what
just
I mean.
smiles and nods.
I'm a few Dr. Nuffs in the wind.
I don't think anyone knows what a Dr. Enough is.
No, it's a drink.
Yeah, he has it. He's got one sitting here right now. It's cherry flavored diet herbal with ginseng and guarana.
It's all I drink, yeah.
It's an aspartame free drink, and it's really, really good. But they only sell it here in East Tennessee.
Yeah, it's a good drink. It comes in green and cherry.
Wow.
I drink a case a week.
And it's non-alcoholic. Yeah. And he just took a drink. Folks, he just took a swig.
But he needs to send you pictures of it.
Yeah, send them to me and I'll post them on we have a couple of different Instagram accounts. We have PoddiMouths and we also have one called Eat, Drink, Road. And it's all of our travels. I think it would fit well with both.
Yeah, I just don't want to make nobody laugh or the animal activists because they were sitting beside of me.
Well, there are two things there. One, it's make people laugh. And
which makes
that's
us
what
laugh.
we try to do every time. We put most people to sleep, but it's all about trying to make people laugh.
Well,
the other part, you're right, that we might get some animal activists because we do have a couple of vegans that follow us.
I don't want somebody to say something. Well, he's got a deer beside him with a hat on and they're drinking vodka and he should be hunting, What's up with the deer and him there?
I can't wait.
Don't worry. I know who you're talking about, and I don't think they listen to this program. Inside joke. I'll tell you later, John. Anyway.
But my wife always says, who takes your pictures when you're asleep? I said, I didn't know nobody seen any pictures because I was asleep. I said, I know I've been bear hunting. I said, maybe he's got my phone texting you. I don't know.
If he makes lots of mistakes, they got pretty big paws,
They do, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got several pictures of them.
Yeah.
You got to bear.
Well, actually, and I do want to post some of those. So Cregg has a trail cam near his deer stand, and he does have some really incredible pictures. He just showed me one today of a bobcat that was near his deer stand. And I was pretty impressed by, and the hawk.
Yeah, the hawk's real nice, and the owl.
Yeah, he's got a hawk coming down, and he's got his talons out, and he's attacking. And it's all from the trail cam.
Wow.
It's pretty impressive. So, yeah. But Cregg is also, so tell him what kind of hunting you do.
I do deer hunting, bear hunting.
No, but you actually spend a lot more time hunting than most people.
Oh, yeah.
So and each state, I guess, both Virginia and Tennessee have different seasons for different types of hunting.
Yeah.
So what kind do you actually do?
I do Virginia hunting. I do deer hunting, bear hunting, and I don't do no squirrel hunting. I talk to them, I guess because we're both nuts. I don't know. We just I share the nuts with them anyway, so.
And you don't want to shoot them because they're your friends.
Yeah,
they come and sleep. They keep you company.
I don't have nobody to talk to. At least I talk to them. They come down, but I guess they get tired of hearing my stories. They leave me. So.
Well, if they could lie down and play dead, that's good.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he was doing.
Well, actually, they probably say he's got more problems I can handle. He's nuts. So.
But you bow hunt.
I bow hunt, muzzle load, and rifle.
Wow.
So all three of those.
Yeah.
Muzzle
which is
loader.
pretty impressive. And I've actually had the opportunity to shoot the muzzle loader, and that's a fun gun to shoot.
Yeah. It's black powder. It's It's good.
Yeah. Is it quite a kick to it or no?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. You better eat your Wheaties before you shoot that, because
Yes, sir.
if you don't, you'll be like a Cheerio, I guess, picking yourself up off the ground, or give you a black eye.
Now,
I took Mona hunting. This is a true story. Now, I wouldn't tell you nothing that it wasn't true. I mean, I might stretch a little bit, but I won't fabricate it up. But I took my wife hunting one time. She wanted to go, and she's in there getting all dog. I said, "No, listen, we're going deer hunting. We ain't going to no beauty contest." I said, "You can't wear no makeup because they smell you, they'll run." Well, we get to the woods, and she has a sleeping blanket, a book, a flashlight, and crackers. And she was in the sleeping bag. I could see the light in the sleeping bag, and she was reading her book, eating crackers. All of a sudden, I heard a deer run, and she said, "What time does the deer show up?" I said, "If I knew that, I'd be here waiting." No.
they call it hunting for a reason.
Well, otherwise, it's a deer appointment.
Right, exactly.
Well, anyway, I said, we might as well go home. This was like 10 o'clock in the morning. I said, we drove a long way. I said, because the deers didn't run off the hill, you making so much noise. So on our way out, she wanted to stop every 10 feet and take pictures of the trees. And long story short, I hadn't took her back no more.
Well, she's a nature lover, though, Craig. That's awesome.
Yeah, but you just don't do that. You don't ask the deer what time they show up.
Did you spray any deer urine on yourself just to make her feel what it's like?
I sprayed. You do have some, though.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, it stinks. Yeah. Ain't nothing like terrible. Eating a little Debbie with deer pee on your hands. Let me tell you.
It's just not as satisfying.
Ain't nothing like, you ever try it? Try it. Get deer pee on your fingers, and you gotta have a little Debbie. And when you're eating that little Debbie, all you can just smell is that pee. Woo!
It's delicious.
Let me tell you about it.
Jon, have you ever gone deer hunting?
Of course.
Do you still deer hunt, or is that something?
I don't anymore. I used to go with guys that went with my dad. And so my dad went up before he died for many, many years with these guys. And they invited me to come along after he passed away. And I thought, well, sure. I was 16 or something like that. And so I went for several years, and they were up at 4 a.m. on Saturday morning when deer season opened. And oh my gosh, it was. And of course, usually we were hungover at 4 a.m. Not a good thing,
right?
But enjoyed those guys very much. And we didn't get much for deer. Probably just went out the first day. And one of the guys, the story was that he brought his rifle along, and he called his wife mad at her because he couldn't find his cigarettes, and she said, "Well, I packed them in your gun case."
That was about like me. I drive about 30 miles one way. I got all the way over where I hunt, looked in my truck. I had no gun. Oh, no. So Mona calls me and she says, your gun's on the kitchen table. So I had to come back home. Needless to say, I didn't go back because I didn't want to drive back again. So I left my gun at home.
You always keep a slingshot in your glove box just in case, Craig.
There you go.
Well, I drove one time over. I was messing with my four-wheeler, and I had my wallet out. And I said, man, I drove all the way to Virginia, and I called Mona, and I said, I can't find my wallet. My hunting license is in my wallet and credit cards and everything. She said, oh, Lord, you lost your wallet. And I said, yeah, I have. She said, you need to check. So I walked around, kept looking. She said, check on your four-wheeler. I laid that wallet on the floorboard of that four-wheeler, and it rode 30 miles, didn't even fall off.
Oh,
and she knew it, though, but she knows
right
you.
There. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. It was unreal. It's just like that cop pulled me over. I told you about that, didn't I?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I did. Weber City.
I
lost my wallet in that bed sheet.
No, you haven't told me this.
I got pulled over by a state trooper coming back from hunting. I said, well, I ain't speeding. I said, he pulled me over. He was from New York. He transferred to Virginia. I said, oh, boy, this is going to be fun. He knocks on my window, and I said, I've got my sidearm on me. He said, I figured you deer hunting. I said, yeah. So he said, got illegal tent on your truck. And I said, well, they're factory tent. The only ones ain't factory is ones I put on across my window. He said, well, anyway, he said, they'll find you. But he said, I'll cut you a break. So he said, I need to see your license. I said, okay, I couldn't find my wallet. He said, you do have a driver's license. I said, I guarantee you I do. So me and him was looking and looking. He said, let's take that sheet off. He said, I know you like to take your truck, but let's take that sheet. It got stuck in that pocket of that sheet. My wallet did. So he said, Mr. Church, he said, if I was you, he said, I would take that sheet and throw it away, because he said these local cops won't take time to look for that wallet to take you on jail. So he's walking back to his car, and he turned around. He said, oh, by the way, you do have a concealed carry permit, don't you? I said, yeah, I do.
Did you have to go to a different sheet to find that one?
No. That's a true story.
That's that. Wow.
Well, he did you pretty nicely, didn't
That's
he?
funny.
Well,
Yeah.
him being from New York, I said, well, this is going to be a ticket for sure. But he's trying to get me for legal tint, but mine was 33% dark, and Virginia's is 32. Yeah, but he let it go.
You have Tennessee plates, so it shouldn't matter.
It don't matter if they go over you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Wow. And I actually got pulled, oddly enough, got pulled over for that in Illinois one time. Bought a car that came from Michigan or Indiana and was driving in Illinois, and sure enough, got pulled over because it was dark.
Really?
Yeah.
But do you have Michigan plates on there or Illinois plates?
No, I had Illinois plates on it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, see, that makes sense. But what I'm saying is if you've got the state limit for the state you're licensed in,
if you're out of
you
the
should
state,
be fine, or at least you can fight it. But I don't know.
You would think you could, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure how they go with it. You know, I mean, that's their law.
All they want over here is court costs. He said, I can write you a ticket and you go to court and get court costs, but the judge will throw it out. He said he wasn't going to do that.
That was nice of him.
Well, I'll say.
So the other thing is, it's, as you've heard, Cregg goes over to Virginia, and when he said it's a 30-minute drive, so it's not terribly far. But the excuse me, when we talk about, or when he talks about going over to Virginia, when he gets onto the freeway, we're on exit number 1 in Tennessee. That's how far north we are in the state of Tennessee. So it's just a stone's throw right over to Virginia.
Yeah. But
the property that he hunts on is a very unique property. I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about it, but I'm always impressed by it because it's a lot of fun to go over. The owner actually owns an ultralight, and it sits in a hangar on the property.
Yeah. There's
a little runway, and it's raised above the property.
Yeah.
So he piled up, I guess, I don't know if he did it or if
he had it done.
He had it done. So it's way up high, but then the rest of the property falls down.
Yeah.
But there's also some Civil War history.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the history of that property, or are you willing to?
Been in his family since the 1800s, and the Confederates used to come over there, and there's a cave down there, and where they dug out over that cave is where they used to hide. And when they come looking for them, they'd hide back in that little insert, and these graves over there, it's unmarked. You don't know who was buried there, but his family's buried over there, but the grave's unmarked. Nobody knows. It's back in the Civil War. And you can see that where the graves is, hollowed down and shallow and stuff like that, where the dirt's gone. But it's fun to go over. I like to take a metal detector and go over and look around, but he's kind of nut. I mean, I hope you ain't listening to me, Rudy.
Something tells me Rudy is not listening to this podcast.
He's a good friend. He's in his 70s. He's way out there. I mean, man, the first time we went over, he took a baby doll's head. Eyes glows in the dark. He put it on the fence post, and I come through the gate and unlocked it. Now, for some reason, my light hit them eyes, and them cemeteries it gives you eerie feeling anyway, So I saw that, and I thought there was somebody staring there looking at me, and I said, "Oh my God!" So I was trying to reach for my gun fast as I could, and it was that stupid baby doll's head he put on there to scare me with.
I remember that baby doll
thing.
He's
still over.
Yeah,
still over.
It's right. You have to drive through someone else's property to get to his property. Yeah. And we were driving over there once. We were actually going to shoot.
Yeah.
And yeah, that the little thing's it's a little creepy.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
He does some stupid stuff. He's got cow skulls everywhere, and he's got dope bottles stuck in her eyes and bottle caps on her heads.
Yeah. It's very artistic. Let's just say that. If Peyton ever goes, that's how I'm going to position that. He's just a very artistic man.
Yeah, he's out there.
But the Civil War area that he's talking about, it's really unique because you wouldn't expect it. The topography is going into that property. A lot of hills, a lot of rolling hills, a lot of meadows. And then you go down into the woods, and then all of a sudden there's like, it almost looks like a rock quarry.
Very cool.
It looks like it's got that cave and that
Yeah.
spring. It comes up under that big old tree.
Yeah, and it's a very random place, but you can see that there's a lot of history, and there's some foundations, some old buildings in there. It's really, really neat.
Oh, sure.
Some guy bought that old timey log house and took it down.
Really?
For the history. Yes, I forgot to tell you about that, for the history. But he left the foundations limestone, and limestone they cut it by hand. And I'm wanting to get the rock and bring it over here and build me something.
Yeah, so the house that we're in right now, you've lived here, what did we figure out, 11 years now?
About 12 years.
12 years.
Yeah.
And Cregg is also a handyman. And he started a business, and I really enjoy it. I built the website for it a while ago, and he's got my favorite coffee cup over here, has it on there. It's called Rent a Man. And
Well, that sounds like quite a handyman.
Asking women that, rent a man.
Oh, they love it around here. They absolutely loved it. But he does a lot of work. He has completely redone this house by himself. How many times have you laid this floor?
5. Well, I took it up 4 times and laid it 5.
Yeah. So that's the kind of work, and everything on this property. He put in the pool himself. He built a deck around the pool. He put up a building for all of his toys, and we were talking about getting him a present eventually, a sign that goes on top of the shed. I shouldn't tell you this, but I'm going to, and called it Craig's Toy Box.
Yeah.
But he is a very, very handy man, literally and figuratively. So he's built this house up so much that they went to get it refinanced, and the bank came in and said, "You've done too much to the house. You've priced yourself out of the neighborhood."
Out of the market, yeah.
Yeah. So
wow.
that's kind of, so anytime he has an idea like that, I think I'm going to build me something. We all kind of cringe because, oh no, what's next? What kind of improvements are going to price you even further out of the neighborhood?
I'm not going to price myself out of the market. What I'm going to try to do is bring myself back in the market. So I'm going to start taking stuff back out, putting other stuff back in.
I like teach him. Like it. Yep. But he's also done a lot of work on some of the neighbors' houses, and we won't get too far in the woods because I don't want to go. Yeah. I don't want to talk about it too much. But we were just talking about his neighbor who he had done a whole bunch of work on his house, who worked for a church, and Cregg started going to this church on his recommendation, and then this person volunteered him to put in a industrial kitchen in the church.
Well, he put me on he volunteered me for the committee that I was on.
Wow.
Then on the committee, I put the industrial kitchen in.
Yeah. So, that's
wow.
So the moral of that story, though, without getting too far into it, and it's something that I think we all have to remember, is when you start somewhere new at a new church, don't tell anyone what you're good at.
Yeah, I didn't do that though. Because I worked on his house, he thought I'd be an asset to the facility committee is what's called.
Sure. And you know what? And I got a buddy who's a master electrician. I mean, he's actually a project manager now, but he can do anything electrical. And so he gets asked all the time at church, and he had to finally start saying no.
Yeah.
Because, he just gets too busy and doesn't have any time at home.
Right.
Yeah.
It's hard to say, though, when you're, especially at church, it's hard to say no.
For sure.
Well, I've done all the electrical and the plumbing and stuff, and took a wall down, then we put another wall up, and there was so much electrical in it.
Yep.
It's coming through the ceiling. So I decided just go ahead and cut them all.
All the electric cords.
All the electrical, and just let them hanging. One of the deacons come in. He said, "What's that?" I said, "Can you wire that back up?" He said, "No, I can't. Why'd you cut it for?"
Well, didn't he ask you what that was? And you said, "I don't know."
I said, "I don't know. I just cut it."
I pretended I was defusing a bomb.
But I wired it all back up. I knew what I was doing. It's no problem.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. So, but also one more, I know I'm boasting about our guest, but what other thing, and very unique, and the reason I'm bringing it up is it would have been a good story to have around Halloween time, but what was your career before you started doing all the handyman stuff?
I was a truck driver.
You were a truck driver, but what kind of truck driver?
Oh, I hauled gasoline and freight, but I was a tanker driver.
Yeah. And so this house has a unique story that ties in with, and it's not a happy story, so prepare everyone, but it's still kind of funny at the end. But so how does this house tie into your days as a tanker driver?
When I drove for Appalachian Oil, they were I think it was about 90 convenience stores, and one of my good friends, his name was Art Cowden. He was 32. I come to his house, which is his house now, and
which when they bought it, you didn't
no.
realize.
Come here and visit him several times. We was hauling gas, and I was already done my ordeal, and he come through White Pine, Tennessee, and he turned the tanker over on him, burned him up.
Oh.
So he crawled up a 10-foot embankment fully on fire, and it burned all his clothes off, and they flew him to Knoxville. So he lived long enough to see his wife, but he eventually died after that.
Wow.
Well, Mona and I got married. She sold her condo. It was hers. And so we was looking for a house, and we come out this street, and I said, I know this house. She said, how you know this house? I said, this is Art's house. So I ended up buying Art's house.
No kidding.
And Art's still around.
Yeah. Yeah, stuff gets moved, and sometimes I can feel somebody washing my back in the shower, and I think it's Mona, and I turn around, it's not. I wish.
I think that's why Nick likes staying there.
Exactly. I love it when people wash my back.
Yeah, I start moaning, and I was hoping she'd say, does that feel good? But ain't nobody gonna say nothing.
At least Art's
I was going to say, so man, Art, you're getting good at this.
I just don't want to drop the soap off. It's Art.
That's what.
And another thing about me, I'm a neat freak. I don't know if Nick's ever told you. I got OCD, EA, EPG, whatever it is, all them words together.
He's got all those acronyms.
I am a neat freak. I try to get out of it, but I don't know. I still have the plastic on my door handles on my truck.
He does. And the truck is a 2012, right?
No, it's 11.
It's an 11. Yeah. This truck is immaculate. It looks brand new.
Sounds like you're saving it for the next owner, Craig.
Well, I took and had an oil change. That guy said, when are you going to take the plastic off the door handles? I said, I don't know. I took it to the Dodge place for recall, and he said, Mr. Church. I said, yeah. He said, what model's that truck? I said, it's 2011. He said, you want to sell or trade it? And I said, no. He said, well, I'm going to ask you this. I said, well, go ahead. And he said, you're the only person I know who's got 3 sets of floor mats in the back. He said, what for? I said, well, the original floor mats, I don't want to get dirty because I got a bathroom rug over it. I don't want to get the bathroom rug dirty because I got another set of floor mats over it. And I still do.
So you can see that the truck is immaculate. He's got you have T-shirts over the seats.
My side now, not Mona's, just my side.
Well, and a sheet from what I understand too.
And a sheet, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I keep a sheet when I hunt or if I get dirty.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to smell like deer urine.
Yeah. No, I make people take their shoes off when they get in.
He's one of the only people I know, with the exception of the cars, unless he buys one used, but he's the only person I know that can buy something, a trailer because he bought an old work trailer off of one of my companies that I used to consult for, an old van, a couple of old boats, a couple of old four-wheelers, and turn them around and make a profit on all of them.
Wow.
I don't know how he does it. I still have yet to figure that out. What you spent like $2,500 on that work van and turned around and sold it for $8,000?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So this is, again, going back to the fix-it man and stuff. That's what he does. He bought an old boat, fixed it up, and then turned around and sold it for twice as much as he spent on it.
Give $1,000 for it and sold it for $3,500.
Oh, was that what it was?
Yeah.
Or was that the trailer?
No, the trailer, I sold it at $1,200 by itself.
Yeah, but you only spent like $300 on it or something like that.
I just sold the trailer straight up.
Yeah.
But the boat, I didn't have hardly nothing in it. I fixed it up, but it looked brand new.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just, we can all learn from him. I don't know how he does it.
Yeah, and the barbecue sauce, I do it.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the barbecue sauce. I shouldn't forget about that.
You need to send him a jar.
I will. I'm going to send, I've talked to you about that before.
Yeah, I need to send you some barbecue sauce.
Well, that'd be great. Nick knows I'm a big barbecue fan. Oh, my goodness.
I used to have a restaurant, and it was called Pig Out Barbecue.
I love it.
Yeah, it was. Nice restaurant.
I never got to try it, but
yeah. Then my wife died of a brain tumor, which it was a cerebral hemorrhage to the brain. It was a stroke that killed her, and then I shut it down.
But he still makes Heaven on a Pig, which is the barbecue sauce, and it's phenomenal. I definitely will send you a jar. I know I've talked about that before. Or next time I see you, I'll just bring you a jar.
That would be awesome.
Because we'll see each other.
Yeah, I'm gonna make some Jack Daniels before they leave. I hadn't made no Jack yet, but I did make the Sweet Hickory and the Smoky.
And you have a hot, and you have a.
I don't make the hot as much, not if somebody wants it, because it's just
because it's hot.
Yeah, it's hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
So we were talking about that earlier today, and I don't know if anyone in our family listens to it, so I'll just throw it out there anyways. We also have a family recipe website, and it's using my mother-in-law's maiden name, so it's the Freeman Family Recipes, but we have every family designated in there, so everyone's last name. And under church, because everyone asks for the recipe to his barbecue sauce, and so we thought, okay, let's put the barbecue sauce recipe up there, and how we'll do it is we'll put a picture of the barbecue recipe sauce, say Heaven on a Pig, and then when you click in to get the recipe, it's going to say not a chance.
Jody and Mike wanted some when we was up in San Fe.
Yeah,
she wanted the recipe.
I know. That's why we're going to put it on there and just say no chance.
I don't care. I really don't want to give it out to everybody right yet. I mean, when I'm dead and gone, they can do what they want with it. They can look over my coffin or my urn. And hey, you know what? People worries about dying, but I know you think it's funny, John, but I'm gonna tell you. But when somebody looks over my coffin, I want them to look at me and say, "There's Mr. Church." You know what? Funeral is the only word I know has got fun in the first letters.
That is true. I never thought of it that way.
Yeah, it does. It's fun.
Yeah.
Spell funeral in the first three letters says F-U-N.
Yeah. No, it's a very good point.
Yeah.
But that's something you and I have never really talked about. You want a funeral.
No, I want to be mounted.
You want that's right. Okay, so that's another thing we haven't talked about.
Are we talking about the same thing?
Talk about your man room. So
I want to go to the taxidermy shop.
So now we talk about it. We have to talk about his man room because he is a big hunter.
I got a big man room.
One of the other text messages that he sent one night, I randomly get a text, and it's a picture of Cregg in his lazy boy chair with a deer head sitting next to him,
covered up.
And what I don't remember what the
I said. I had a buck in my chair, and I had a blanket around him. So I took a selfie and I sent it to everybody. And I said, he just loves watching Rudolph with me.
But his man cave he's got what, 4 deer heads? 5 deer heads.
I got 4, 5, 6.
6 deer heads, a boar head.
Coon,
2
coyotes,
and then 2 wasp nests.
Got 2 wasp nests, and largemouth, smallmouth, 2 trout, hybrid, and a bunch of squirrels.
Wasn't the hybrid something you made though? It wasn't a real one. Which one was it?
Trout that
the trout's not real.
It away, it got broke.
Oh, did it? Okay.
That's when I faked everybody off.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, it was.
It was a very good one. So yeah, he's got all of these mounted down in his man room. He had to get rid of the pool table because there wasn't enough room for his.
I did build that pool table.
Yeah,
that was nice. I should have kept that pool table.
Yeah, but you didn't have any room because of all of your
I'm gonna build another one though.
Okay, smaller. So
I'm gonna build another, but I'm gonna build it all landscape timbers.
That would be really
nice.
Make it look like a log pool table.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's a nice pool table.
It was. So yeah, he's got them all down there. So that's why he says he wants to be mounted so he can go down with his deer heads.
I want to be mounted standing there with my arm folded out. That way Mona comes in, she can either throw my coat over my arm or put her hat on me.
You'd be like one of those butlers.
There you go. Wow. Yeah. So, so that's what. But in all seriousness, when you pass away, what do you want to be buried? Do you want to be cremated?
I just leave that up to Mona. I think she wants to cremate me, but I don't think a person's going to know it anyway. So it's
right.
Only the living people's going to know what happens.
Right.
It's up to them.
John, what do you want to do if you don't mind me asking?
No, we've talked about it, and I think cremation is probably the answer for me. And I think back when I was. Without being too morbid about it, but the funerals I've been to of my dad's when I was so young, 15 years old, And I just thought it was weird because you got, they're lying in the casket and people coming up. And, well, doesn't he look good? Well, he's dead. I mean, how good is he going to look?
I don't know.
Look, he's alive.
So, I never really understood that part of it. Is it? Well, I was remembering, and I don't know. I think you remember what you remember, and I'm kind of with you on that, Craig. I want to be the guy that puts the fun in funeral. I don't want to be the, let's make it a fun memorial and play some music and have some kids dancing and bring lots of little Debbies.
I just want all my deer heads around me when I go.
Well, we'll put you on. We'll lay you out on the pool table for the first couple of days. See, I'm a little bit different, and I finally, after about 5 years of talking about this, have come up with a really good comeback to Jennifer, because she's always kind of got an argument against it. She stopped fighting, so I guess I don't need the comeback. But I want to go to the body farm at UT.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, you're going to ETSU.
Okay. All right. So there's a body farm, and that's where they will take your body and they'll put you out in some state, whether it's in a garbage can or in a car or just out in a field, and they'll study you as you decompose so they can better understand how people will decompose in certain situations so they can help solve crimes. Yeah. That's where.
Is there really a shortage of bodies for
Believe it or not, there is, because a lot of people don't donate themselves. They'll bury or get cremated. So that's where I want to go. So I definitely won't have a funeral or anything like that. And Jen used to get really mad at me and said, well, funeral's not about you. It's about your family.
Save money.
Yeah. And that's the thing. I save money because I live in Tennessee. They'll come pick me up for free.
Yeah. You got memories. You don't need to lifelong
exactly
sadness.
But this goes back to the conversation we had in our last episode, John.
Yep.
Her argument was, again, it's for your family, not necessarily for you. Well, hopefully I'm going to live long enough that really the only family I'm going to have around are my wife and my daughter. If my wife passes me, so is it really for my family at that point? Because, there won't be very many left.
Nope.
So I think it's, for me, being able to donate to the better or the greater.
Do they donate your parts?
Yeah, you can donate your parts too.
Well, I hope they don't donate my eyes, because they're going to be hurting. They're going to say, we didn't get Mr. Church's contacts.
So for everyone to understand, Craig has, and I got it wrong for a long time because I thought it was the same thing Dame Judi Dench had, which is macular degeneration. What is it called?
Keratoconus.
Keratoconus, which is?
Deterioration of the corneas.
Okay. So, which is why you don't drive truck anymore.
That's right.
Because you're technically legally blind.
My vision is 10,000, I think. 20 over 10,000, something like that, Mama said.
Yeah, so
I'm legally blind.
Yeah. He does wear contacts.
Oh yeah, special made.
Yeah, and so that's what he means by I hope no one gets my eyes.
Because they're gonna be screwed.
Yep. Did we lose John?
John.
I think we lost John.
John, we lost you. I'm not gonna tell you the story again.
He can probably hear the story. But John, why don't you try to come back? You can hang up and Craig and I will keep talking for a few minutes. And
John,
are you out there? Oh, I heard a click. Did you hear that click? Oh, no, it's okay.
John, we need you in this conversation because it's hard for us to talk to each other. We need a third person.
We always talk to each other, so it's hard to come up with new things. Looks like we're still recording.
Yeah, but John's
not recording.
Can he come back in?
He can if he wants to. I don't know if he wants to.
Oh, really? Because he can just go anytime he wants to?
Yeah. I mean, he just hangs up the phone.
Well, at least tell us goodbye.
Yeah, John. Golly. So
really?
No, it's probably he probably needs to hang up.
I must not made him laugh, John.
That's what it is. You didn't make him laugh.
Well, I was going to tell you about my Himalayan stew. Best stew you ever find. What you got to do is you find him laying on the road and you get him.
Do you use the Himalayan sea salt too?
That's right.
He's
best
really
stew you've got in your mouth.
He's really gone.
Yeah.
John, how long do you want us to wait before we call it a day? He needs to text me. Usually he texts me by this point and said, I can't get on.
Go ahead and text him, see if he's done. That way we know.
He might just given up.
I didn't give up. Sorry.
Oh, there you are. There he is.
We
Hi,
thought
John.
you wasn't having a good time. Thought you was bored with all my. But
I
I was
was
telling Nick, you ever had a Himalayan stew?
not on purpose.
You find him laying on the road and you get him.
What? We always call it roadkill, but I like Himalayan better.
Yeah, it's awesome. I love it.
Said, what's that? That's a Himalayan stew. Well, that's good. Well, I found him laying on the road. He was fixing to turn green.
You got to wait till they're like 2 or 3 bites in for that, right, Craig?
Yeah, I like it when the maggots coming out of them.
Oh,
a lot of protein.
Speaking of, we were watching a show last night. We were doing Oak Island first, but the show that came up after it, I've never seen it, but you were talking about it. What was it called? The Guys with the Bugs.
Oh, will they test your strength on letting all these different kind of bugs bite them and sting them? And why would you want to do that for? I mean, it sounds like me. You're a deck full of short cards, or is that? Was that?
It's a card short of a deck.
Yeah, I didn't tell you I was bride.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, but that made me think of that for some reason. But I've seen people eat maggots.
Yeah.
There's actually a new zombie Netflix show that there was an apocalypse, and they're not really zombies. They are, but they're not. But there was a nuclear bomb that dropped, and all of the adults were killed off or turned into zombies. All of the kids, anyone under 18, survived, but the adults, if they can't get human, they eat maggots.
Yeah. Wow. So John, what do you do for a living?
Well, I work with the same company Nick does, and so
really,
we and we don't cross paths enough, unfortunately. But I do dealership consulting and oversee their digital operations.
Wow.
Yeah,
sounds like it's a pretty good deal.
It's boring.
He's a doc.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that?
A dealer operations consultant.
Digital.
But they call them docs.
Digital.
Yeah. Digital. Sorry.
Yeah.
I know.
Don't know what they call me.
I was thinking of it something else.
I guess I'm a knock.
Yeah.
I'm a nobody.
A knock. No one cares.
Well, how old are you, John?
How
old are you?
58.
Well, you're just a tad little bit fringe of hair older than me.
Yeah, I'm just going to be real quick like that. I will be 59 in about less than a month.
Well, you're just a little bit longer hair, a little bit older than me.
I'm trying to help.
Yeah, we're all getting old. I can feel it.
Yeah. Me too, as the youngest person on this podcast.
Yeah.
Whatever, enjoy it.
Yeah. It catches up with you.
It does.
Yeah,
it does.
Feel it. Yeah. After 5 marriages, I feel my age.
Yeah.
So
let's call it 4.5.
We got to talk. We got to talk about Jennifer though, behind her back.
Again?
Well,
you got me in trouble last time I made fun of her.
What we're going to talk about Jennifer?
Well, don't make fun of her.
Oh, okay.
Well, what are we going to say then?
I didn't say that, Jennifer. John said that this time.
No, I was pretending to be your husband.
I'd say she knows I am.
You just have to say the name Craig and she rolls her eyes.
Yeah, they know me. I'm blunt. If I don't like you, I tell you. If I do like you, I shake your hand.
Well,
I haven't gotten any of that. So where am I? Somewhere in limbo?
No, I am blunt. Oh, Mona tells me I'm too
that's
forward.
Good.
I hurt people's feelings. Well, I don't believe in going around people's back. If I don't like you, I'm gonna tell you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, life's too short, right?
Yeah, ain't no sense putting icing on the cake and then licking it off. Why not? Why not lick the icing before you put it on?
Especially if it's Himalayan cake.
The Himalayan cake.
Yeah.
He had to be laying for a long time.
Yeah.
It's cake.
Yeah, Himalayan on the road. I got it.
Oh my God.
I told that lady at church we go to, she says, I hear you cook some good deer chili. I said, yeah, I'll fix you some Himalayan stew. She's, boy, I can't wait. She said, now what's it called again? I said, it's a Himalayan stew. She said, you use deer. I said, as soon as I find Himalayan on the road, I'll get him. She told me, she said, I don't think I want any of your stew.
to tell you, it's every time we leave our let me try that again. Every time we leave the church household, we have to go home and rest our jaws because we're laughing so hard the whole time we're here.
Laughter's good medicine.
It is a good medicine.
It is.
That's why we feel so healthy when we leave.
Yeah, why? Life's too short to die young. See, you're laughing, ain't you?
Yeah,
I saw that
exactly.
coming.
Yeah.
John won't be the same after talking to me.
No.
He'll say, honey, come here and listen to this guy. You in a bad mood? You won't be when you listen to him.
Knowing Lisa, she's just sitting behind John
she
listening
wouldn't
right now.
be. That's art.
Oh, that's art. That's art.
Rubbing my
sitting behind
How
Cregg
hard it is,
listening.
yeah.
Yep.
I tell you what I done one time. I'm a prankster. Remember all that?
Yeah, oh, trust me, I know.
We was downstairs, and I guess Jennifer and Nick had been up a week or so prior to that, and they all talking about ghost stories. So I took some fishing line. I got my recliner, and I put that fishing line under my rug, and I run it over to a bunch of deer antlers on my coffee table. Mona come down, and I got her talking about spooky stuff. I jerk them antlers a little bit. She'll say, honey, did you see that? I said, see what? She said, that antler moved. I said, no, it didn't. You got caught up and watching those scary movies. No, it did. So I'd get her off and I'd jerk her nut. Honey, did you see that one that moved too? I said, honey, you're seeing things. So a few minutes, I jerked them off in the floor, and she jumped up, and she jumped on the recliner and turned me over upside down. Run upstairs and got across, come downstairs and cry. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
So,
one day she come home. You ever seen them old timey coat racks everybody hangs their coats on? I got inside of one of them.
You got inside a coat rack? You must be real slim.
with all the coats on it.
Yeah, it was in our condo.
Okay.
So she come home from work. She put her little hat and scarf up her, and I just reached out and hugged her with the coat.
No wonder you're on
So
your fifth
there's
wife.
one other time though. We got Cregg back, and we got him back pretty good. So the house here is laid out with the man room actually has its own entrance. It's in the basement.
Yeah.
And I think it used to be an apartment, right?
It was,
So
yeah.
it has its own driveway outside, but we would run outside of the house, or he would, and he did this a couple of times. What did we yell?
It's Braveheart. You'll never take my freedom.
You'll never take my freedom. And so he had done that a few times, but it'd been, I don't know, a couple of months since he had done that. And he was downstairs watching TV, and I ran around and stood outside the window in the middle of the night. And then you yell that.
Yep.
And I saw Cregg through the window jump about 6 feet out of his chair.
He's lucky he didn't get shot.
thinking the same thing.
That's brave.
It was good.
I tell you another story. Mona loves Halloween. She said, oh, I hope we have some trick-or-treaters. I felt so sorry for her. We wasn't married then. I said, what can I do? So I went downstairs, put on my camo outfit, my mask. I got me a Food City grocery bag. It's little plastic bags. So I run around the condo and rung the doorbell. I could hear her hollering, honey, we got a trick-or-treater. Come on. So she opened the door and she looks at me. I said, trick-or-treat. She said, boy, you're awful big to be a trick-or-treater. So I took my mask off. She said, oh, honey, it's you.
For those of you who haven't figured it out, Mona is my mother-in-law. That is Jennifer's mother. So
yeah, that's right.
I kind of caught that.
well, I know you did because we've talked about her before, but just in case, we might have a couple of, I doubt there probably aren't any listeners who are slower than I am, but we might have a couple.
I shouldn't aggravate her, though. She's a good woman.
But it's so much, it's so easy to do. It's so much fun.
She's gullible.
Yeah, she.
I was in first day of deer season. She knows I'm up because I'm anxious. I said, well, I set the clock for 3:30 or 4 o'clock. I raised my windows, got my body so cold. Remember that?
Uh-huh.
And got my eyes real watering, and the clock went off. So I said, I'm going to lay here. So she comes in, honey, it's bow season. You're going to be late. I didn't move. She come up, she said, Cregg, she fell in my body for him. She said, oh, he's cold. He's dead. And I seen her back up, and I knew she's gonna start crying. So she's oh my
Oh,
God, he's passed.
man.
Remember that?
I remember.
She was gonna start crying. I jumped up and said, "What time is it, honey?" She said, I said, "Am I late?" She said, "Oh God, I'm gonna kill you. I thought you done dead." I said, "Am I late to go, honey?"
We used to get calls from Mona in the middle of the week, and it would always worry us because you're like, oh, now what's happening? Why is she calling us in the middle of the week? But we got so used to Cregg in the last 13, 14 years now that when Mona calls in the middle of the week, it's mostly like, okay, what joke did Cregg play this time?
I better quit doing that, really. It's that time she felt me in the kitchen floor. I spilled water by accident and he laid there. When she come in from the work, she thought I had a heart attack and water was everywhere.
Yeah.
Now she says she ain't gonna believe me.
Oh, she will.
If I'm dead, she says she'll just step over me. She'll say, "Well, he's just playing another prank."
I imagine after a couple of weeks she'll figure it out.
Yeah,
though.
she would. Yeah, no, she's good. She's a good woman, but she's getting big as a house. She's eating a lot of.
Oh, come on, she is not. Wow.
I was hoping she.
Hopefully, she won't listen to this. She
no.
won't. She never does. She's like, "What's a podcast?"
Yeah, she's getting unattractive now and slow in her speech.
Wow.
She's not, guys.
No, man, I'm just cutting up with you now. She's all right. I mean, she knows how I am. I cut up with her.
Before we get into too much trouble,
yeah,
Cregg, is there a social media handle that you want to share with people to all of your new fans so they can follow you?
Yeah,
Instagram or
my hands are social hands.
Yeah, your hands are very social.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
What is your Instagram or your Facebook? What do you?
I don't do Instagram because it's just too hard to get on sometimes.
Well, yeah, your phone. We need to get you a new phone. But you have a Facebook page that people can follow and see some of his hunting stories because he puts some of his hunting stuff up there.
Yeah.
Do you have one? It's just Cregg Church, right? Or is it Cregg Church 53?
I don't know.
Well, just look up Cregg. Cregg is spelled. He's got a unique way of spelling Cregg. It's Cregg.
Yeah.
So if you want to follow Cregg and get some of his stories, because he, as you can tell, he's got a few doozies. So
I got a good sense of humor.
He does.
But I'm serious too on the side.
Sometimes.
Really?
Yeah. Very, very rarely.
Yeah, I'm very serious. Yeah.
Very, very rarely.
I wouldn't have known that, Cregg.
I just don't want to paint a bad picture for people.
Well, you
I'm
seem
a
to
likable
be.
guy. I mean, I really am.
Yeah.
I don't act my age, but sometimes I act too old on the set. But I try.
I think it's the other direction,
no,
Cregg.
If you can't laugh and stay young, then I don't know what's going to happen. I mean,
That's true. That's true. But you can learn more about Cregg there. You can also see some of the pictures that I'll post probably, in the next year or two. It takes me a little while. It takes me a little while to post pictures on some of our on our Instagram and Facebook pages, which are PoddiMouths, all of them, except for Eat Drink Road. It's eat.drink.road. You can also find all of that information on PoddiMouths.com. John, do you have any parting words?
I do, actually. I sent you an email just now with Cregg's next year Halloween costume.
Oh, well, we got to
hold
on.
Let crack it open because I want you
Lord.
to.
Oops.
I want you to show him and see if he's good with it.
You emailed it to me and not
just now.
Okay. I don't have anything from you yet.
Roasted pixel. Come on.
There it is. Uh-oh.
Did I ever tell you about that time I dressed up for Halloween? I'll dress up. That's what I need right there.
That's next year.
Yep. That is next year.
I need that.
We'll post this up on Instagram too.
I'll
It's
tell
hilarious.
you this before I go. I used to dress up every year, and they'd poke me on the porch to see if I was real.
Oh yeah, that actually
Remember
those
that?
some really good stories. Yeah.
Oh gosh.
This place used to be a mini haunted house.
And I tell you what, this little girl, she's probably old enough to walk and carry a pumpkin. Her mom was in front of me. Her mom kept asking Mom, she said, "Is he real?" She said, "That's awful good looking dummy." So she comes up to me. When she poked me, I come out of that chair and she wet herself. Well, I didn't see the little girl behind her. The little girl throwed her pumpkin down and was running towards her daddy. And I did. I felt so bad. I told the husband, I said, "Man, I didn't mean to screw your daughter." He said, "That's all right." He said, "Just seeing my wife wet herself made me happy." But I did screw that little girl, and I didn't mean to.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
But that's
she's
what Halloween's
probably
for.
forgiven you by
Yeah.
now.
Exactly.
Yeah, I got in trouble Halloween because Mona, sometimes we run, Lord forgive me for this, but sometimes we run short on candy, and I act like I'm putting candy in theirs, and I take theirs out and put it in my bow.
Oh man! You see, you're not supposed to admit that on a international podcast, an internationally
I never did
famous
do that,
podcast.
folks out there in podcast land, wherever you at.
It's out with the pygmies. Anywho, John, I hope you had
Yeah,
a really
same
good
here.
time.
Hey, y'all, thank you very much. Good talking with you. Craig, it was great to meet you, and look forward to meeting you in person sometime.
Same here.
Well, I'll look forward to
Maybe
it.
you'll get
I'm
to.
going to bring the little Debbies.
Well, I just think there's only 3 words, and funeral spells fun. So
He puts the fun in funeral.
when you're looking at me or shaking my urn, or you can say F-U-N.
F-U gulp N.
No, it was
guys-
nice to talk to you. I'm glad I got to talk to somebody.
My pleasure, brother.
Because I'm no fun to talk to anymore.
I hope you have your family has a good Thanksgiving and a Merry Christmas.
You too, brother. We'll talk to you again soon. Nick, see ya, man. Thank you.
See ya. Bye, everybody.
See ya.